everyone, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very strange video. I want to let you know that I was watching Satchonsims video where he built like these really cool houses out of coffee tables based off of TikTok tips that he was looking at. And I was like, a coffee table? I could force my Sims to live inside of a coffee table, but unlike my previous builds or speed builds where I will cut out the parts that I think are boring, I thought it would be fun for me to leave as much of that in as possible. Not fun in the sense of like, I think it's particularly fun to watch me make a million mistakes and like fidget with the table, but just to really show the reality of like what that build process looks like. Originally, I was going to do this big kind of floating table, but I was like, that's the one that people typically do. And also I didn't want to struggle with platforms. And I decided halfway through building this that I actually wanted it to be for Johnny Zest. If you don't know Johnny Zest, he was disowned by the Landgrab family. He wants to be like a comedian or something. And he lives in a trailer in like the very, very back of Oasis Springs. So this is Johnny in the future, who will eventually get a makeover in my save file. And he lives in this super modern house that's actually just a coffee table. Now, the way that you get this coffee table hack to work, you actually need the tool mod. You can't just like lower the table down using the in-game keys, which I think is like Control-0, because then the table will just remain an object and you would only ever see the table. Like you would have to view the home from within the table. But when you use tool to lower the build down, it essentially kind of makes it an object in the sense that when you go down a level, go down a floor, you no longer see the table, you just see the house, which is obviously ideal for functional gameplay. I did make the entire front of this house. It's a very small house because it still has to fit inside of our giant coffee table. It can't be huge or the coffee table would be off the lot. So I ended up, sorry, that's my EA app crashing because we all love the EA app. Anyway, so that's why it's like a relatively small space. It is still a pretty small home, but it's just a little bit more bachelor pad like your sim if they chose to live here. For example, my sim Johnny lives here. He has everything he needs, right? He has his little platform area, which I purposely put his microphone and a guitar up at that area because I felt like it would be like a stage and Johnny could feel like he was performing to the people. Of course, he's not. It just overlooks his living room. And this is kind of like a studio, although some apartment buildings would call this an efficiency because there's a wall between the bedroom and the other living spaces, but it's a fucking studio. Yeah, that's what it ends up being. I originally, for the outside, like those little two platforms on the side that fill up the areas where the other side of the coffee table is, they were supposed to be outdoor spaces. And then I built the kitchen and the bedroom, looked at the layout, and I was like, how would he get to the other platform, the one that the bed is leaning against? And the answer is he couldn't. He could not get to the other platform. And then I also built the layout of the home, and I was like, where's the bathroom? Where is the bathroom? I was like, Johnny has everything that he needs. There's no bathroom. There's a bathroom. Don't worry. That little platform area does eventually lead out to the bathroom, which is a full-size bathroom with a shower tub combo in case he wants to soak after his long nights of performing. I imagine he's more successful in this version of my save file and has distanced himself from the Landgrab family greatly. Although, can we talk about cutting corners here? Because it is very clear in the description of the Landgrab family, or rather in Johnny Zest's description, that he was disowned by the Landgrabs. So he should have familial relationships and be on the family tree for the Landgrab family. They should know each other. They don't. If I wanted Johnny to go over to the Landgrab family and start romancing Malcolm Landgrab, he would fucking do it. Obviously, if I aged Malcolm up because Johnny is a teen. Because he, in the game, does not recognize at all that they're family because there are no family connections. And I'm like, come on, y'all. You really couldn't have taken 2 seconds to have made them related anyway. I'm just like, the ick that he could go and romance any member of the Landgrab family because they are not technically related. Anyway, I really enjoy how this build turns out. I don't often build homes in this kind of style. Like, this is not my personal aesthetic. although I think that it is a beautiful home. I really try to channel Johnny's energy. And for that, I was picturing like cozy bachelor pad, lots of warm tones, and a super dark kitchen. Although in real life, I would love like a white and stainless steel kitchen. But this home has a black and white kitchen with some super modern appliances. This is where you see Johnny has upgraded in his life, because even though, oh, maybe it's just a black kitchen. Who knows? Because even though space-wise the home isn't very big, it has a lot of the luxuries that he would need, like a big, beautiful TV, really modern kitchen appliances, a full modern bathroom. It is very fully furnished. I'm super happy with how this turns out. The coffee table thing is weird. There's no landscaping anywhere on the lot, but when you have the coffee table up, to have landscaping, in my opinion, overwhelms the lot. And he doesn't have a backyard, but honestly, besties, he's poor. What is he gonna have, a swimming pool? He can't afford that. What's he gonna have, a barbecue area? He can't afford that. He can't afford to plant trees in the middle of the desert. He hasn't gotten to that point in his life yet, but we are definitely coming to the end of the build here, where I'm really just adding these final decorative touches. In general, if I'm going to build a house, I really, really, really enjoy building houses when I already have a sim in mind, because it allows me to create a personality for these sims and then to decorate to that personality. So when I did like my realistic dream apartment, that was really easy to furnish because I had an idea of what kind of sim lived there and how to do the decor bits to make it feel like a lived-in space. And while this home isn't overly cluttered, I think it still feels very obvious that a sim lives here and has put intention and thought behind every single object in the home and why they exist in this home. I even wanted to put up a cork board on there with the little like whiteboards that your sims write on. They don't actually do this, but I would have loved the idea that Johnny puts up all the shows that he has and he pins them to the board, has his little calendar reminders, and then has little positive affirmations written on the whiteboard. I thought that would be so cute. And I always forget that they added in light switches with the base game update a little while ago. So I put a light switch into the kitchen. They don't function, which is why I always forget about them, because they truly are just decorative. But then again, so is toilet paper in bathrooms, and I usually put toilet paper into the bathroom. But we, like I mentioned, are coming to the end of the build. I'm just changing some swatches around because I feel like the darker wood makes more sense in this space. Even though the windows are very, very light wood, I just like the darker wood on the interior. You can see that I struggle so much with the railings because none of them fucking match to the stairs and to the fence. None of the wood swatches match there. And then I was like, well, damn it. The dark stairs, like the wooden stairs, no longer match the black hardwood floors. And at that point, I was like, whatever. It is what it is. I also put in a window against the living room just to let in a little bit more natural light. Even though there are lots of windows in this build, I felt it would be weird to only have windows across the front wall and not have windows in any other space. I think that Johnny would appreciate a lot of lighting. I don't put any curtains against the front wall. Oh well, it opens up to his bedroom. To be honest with you, I just didn't want to put curtains across the front wall. I felt like it was obstructing the view. And if I'm going to upload this to the gallery, which I'm not sure that I will, it's just like a fun build challenge for me and not something that I'm like, this is a beautiful build. I like how the interior turns out, but truly I was just playing around with the coffee table. I would probably flip it around. This is where they would walk up, but I would flip it around so that the back view is what you saw. And then I'm just going in, I'm actually moving Johnny in so that I can play with the tool mod and try to finesse this coffee table to work. As you can see, I was never able to get it to work the first time around, and actually days later I figured out how to do it. I adjusted it and it does become a fully functional lot, which I will show you in a moment. That Johnny is inside the house, the table is going down the way that it is supposed to, and that you can see inside the home as it should be, with the final tour being the little kitchen area, which I really, really just love how everything turns out with the little orange painting in the kitchen, the bedroom, Johnny is taking a nap, the living room, the TV is missing for some reason. I just noticed that. and the bathroom with its beautiful shower tub combo. But that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching as always. I hope that you did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!